Something in my teeth. What's up, guys? Thank you for watching. Today's look is going to be on this gorgeous, like, fall time, I don't know, purple, burnt orange, smoky eye, I guess you could say. I used the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance and the Subculture palette. Now, I decided to use these two palettes because Norvina has always said that Subculture was a sister to Modern Renaissance, and I do agree on that because I feel like Modern Renaissance, I don't know, just both of these palettes just complement each other so well, and I haven't really seen anyone use both of them at the same time, which I feel like this palette definitely goes with this one, you know? So, like, I feel like why not use both of them at the same time? And, you know, both of these created this gorgeous eye look. So, yeah, that's kind of my little chit chat on this look and how I came about it. But yeah, let me just shut the fudge up and let's just get started. I primed my eyes off camera using the MAC Paint Pot and Soft Ochre. Make sure that you do prime your eyes whenever you're doing an eyeshadow look, just because it's gonna make your eyeshadow last longer, it's gonna prevent creasing and all that good stuff. So I am gonna be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette and the Modern Renaissance. If you live under a rock, you might not know what these look like, but these are what they look like. They're freaking gorgeous. Now, there's been a lot of ugly reviews on YouTube and about the Subculture palette that has a lot of pigment, has a lot of fallout, blah blah blah. And yes, I agree it does, but I still like my palette. Like, I'm not going to return it or anything like that. I really like mine. You just have to be super careful. And even the Modern Renaissance has a lot of like fallout and stuff, but it's nothing that's like you can't work with. So with that being said, I do want to add some translucent powder to my under eyes, just so it can catch everything and it doesn't ruin my makeup. Because if you're like me and do your foundation before your eyeshadow can fall down your face and just ruin your makeup. So I'm gonna do that. I'm just taking my Derma Blend translucent powder, and on a damp beauty blender, the one I use to do my foundation and everything else, I'm gonna just pat this underneath my eyes. Now we look super cute. To start off this look, I'm going to lay down my transition shade, and I'm going to be using the Modern Renaissance palette. I'm also going to be using my MAC 217 brush. Any fluffy brush that you have will do. And I'm going with the shade Burnt Orange. Gorgeous, muted, burnt orange color. So I'm just going to apply this into my crease and kind of smoke it out. I want this eye look to be a little bit more round, so I am kind of creating a circle, if you will. Kind of like, you know, bringing my brush in here and then out here, just kind of creating a half circle. Circular motions, windshield wiper motions, circular motions, windshield wiper motions. Now that we have our transition down, I'm going to go in with the shade Red Ochre, so this red brick color, and I'm going in with my Zoeva Luxe Soft Definer brush. It's similar to the MAC 217, but it's not as fluffy, so it's a little bit more compact. So I'm just going to take some of the red ochre and I'm going to apply it right underneath that burnt orange. And it's okay if we take it onto the lid because we are going to be cleaning it up with some concealer. So this is just going to just deepen up this crease and give it a little bit more shadow, more fall vibes. I'm just going back and forth with this shade into my crease. I'm loving the way this is looking, but I want to add a little bit more color, a little bit more vibrancy, so I'm going to go in with Venetian Red. So just the color right next to it is just kind of like a deep pink fuchsia shade. And the same brush, I'm just going to go right over that red ochre. Now with the first brush that I used in my MAC 217, I'm going to go back in with burnt orange, and I'm just kind of going to blend out these edges so it doesn't look super choppy and harsh out here. I'm really going to make sure that these red colors are just kind of fusing into the burnt orange. So I'm just kind of doing circular motions. Now we're gonna go into the Subculture palette, and I'm gonna go in with the shade Rowdy, which is a super deep plum purple shade. It almost looks like it has a little bit of brown undertone. And I'm going with a Sigma, what is this? It's all scratched off. E25, I think. This is kind of like a little domed brush. Anything that can pack on color, kind of blend it out at the same time will work. So this Subculture palette is super pigmented, so don't be going into your Subculture palette like freaking like jamming your brush in there. Just kind of barely tap it, and like there's so much pigment, and then just shake off the excess because a little goes a long way with this palette. So I'm just gonna start out on the outer corner. And it's better to build up with this palette because it's really hard to blend it out if you add too much. So that's why I just barely went into the palette and then, you know, kind of shook off the excess. So back in. So right now I'm just kind of packing it, and then I'll worry about blending it in a second. And I also want to run this through the entire crease. So there's pretty much not any more product on here. I'm just kind of gonna take whatever's left on the brush and bring it into the crease. Just gonna give it a little bit more dimension. Now with this brush, I'm going to blend out this outer edge that looks super harsh and just going in circular motions to really diffuse this shadow. Like I said, I want that purple in the entire crease. So I'm taking a pencil brush, like a super soft one, so it doesn't apply so much product. And I'm going with Rowdy, barely gonna tap, like barely. And then make sure you tap this off. And I'm gonna run this through the crease, just creating a line in here, pretty much. Now I'm gonna go back in with the brush that we used, the red ochre and the Venetian red, and I'm just gonna go back in with both of the colors, so, and then run this through the crease to kind of blend out that Rowdy shade. Okay, I'm gonna keep on packing this Rowdy shade just to get it to that deepness that I want. And I'm only taking it halfway on my lid because I am going to be pretty much doing a half cut crease. These colors are so freaking gorgeous together, and this look is perfect for the fall. And again, with that orange brush, just gonna run this out. I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. So I was already going in. I'm just getting some concealer, and I'm gonna clean up the inner half of the lid. Oh shit! I got some up here. Dang it. Okay, let's just keep going. Don't look up whenever you have this, you're putting on this concealer, because it will transfer to the top of your eye. Well, let's see what I can do. So yeah, like I was saying before I realized that I was cut off, is that doing a half cut crease or cleaning up like the inner half of your crease looks harder than what it actually is. Once you do it, you're like, dang, this is what I was afraid of, but it's not that bad. So I guess today I'm gonna have like a higher crease than what I usually do. Okay, so whenever I get to where the concealer and this purple shade meet, I'm just gonna try to feather this out so it blends perfectly and just looks like a nice little transition from the purple to the concealer. So now we have half of our lid cut and ready to kill. So now I'm going to go back in with the Rowdy shade, and I'm taking the same little brush that I used earlier. Ooh, like, do you see like all this like fallout that transferred to that yellow? It's okay. So I'm really going to tap it, and I'm going to apply some to the outer because that's where I want it to be the darkest. And I'm going to slowly bring it in and blend it into that concealer. So this kind of makes it look like it's like a little gradient effect. And then again, since this is a really pigmented dark color, we want to blend out those edges. So remember, with any eye look, you want to pack on, blend, pack on, and blend. So back into the Modern Renaissance palettes, and the brush that I used to go in with the red shades, I'm going to go in with Red Ochre and Venetian Red. And I'm just going to run this through the crease a little, or just like to blend out these edges right here. Now back in with my MAC 217 and Burnt Orange, I'm going to blend this little edge out here. Now to really get into some detail work in the crease, I'm going to go in with a pencil brush and back in with my Subculture palette and the shade Rowdy. Remember, tap off the excess, and I'm going to start out here because this is where I want the most product to be distributed, and then go in here into the crease. Oops, I went a little bit too ham. And I'm just going to go over the concealer a little bit because I didn't want it to go all the way up there anyway, so it's okay. And I'm bringing it all the way down here to the corner pretty much. And again, let's blend this out because it's looking a little choppy. So now let's get onto the lid. I'm just going to be using the same brush that I used to cut the lid. First, I'm going to take the shade Primavera from the Modern Renaissance palette. It's just like a champagne-y gold. It's more like a gold than champagne actually. And I'm just gonna pack this on the lid all over where we put the concealer. And so I took it all on top of the concealer, but I'm also going to drag it out into the purple shade just so it can look a little bit more blended. So see how that looks blended, like the Primavera shade is just blending smoothly into the purple because I kind of finessed my way into doing that. I just kind of packed it and feathered it together, feathered those two shades together. Now, whenever I did this look the first time, I did go in with the gold shade from the Subculture palette. This one called Adorn. It's just like a really coppery gold shade. And I just went a little bit on the center. I'm going to do it again. Just give a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to do it again just because I did the first time. Now I'm going to go back in with the Sigma brush that I used to apply the Rowdy shade. And I'm not going to pick up any more product. I just want to really blend out these edges and just make it look a little bit more seamless. So now that I have all of my eyelid complete pretty much, I like to go back in with the transition shade because it tends to get lost sometimes. Back in with Modern Renaissance and Burnt Orange, my MAC 217. I'm just going to go over this edge a little bit. And I'm not putting a lot of pressure. I'm holding my brush kind of out here to not put so much pressure because I just want to really feather this out. I love these colors together. I feel like this is going to be my go-to look for the fall. Now for the bottom lash line, I'm going to go in with Rowdy on a pencil brush, and I'm again barely tapping my brush into that shade, and I'm just going to apply this to the bottom lash line. So now with the same brush, I'm going to go in with all of the shades that I use from the Modern Renaissance, so Red Ochre, Venetian Red, and Burnt Orange. The same brush, it doesn't really matter, because we're going to be kind of blending the two shades anyways. So first, I think I'm going to go in with Red Ochre and Venetian Red, and run that right underneath Rowdy. and then right underneath that, burnt orange. So pretty much what we did on the top, inverse it on the bottom. For the waterline, I'm taking my Physicians Formula Shimmer Strip liner. I guess this is called Warm Nude Eyes. I'm not sure. Any like bronzy brown liner will do. So I'm just taking this into my waterline. For the inner corner, I'm going to be applying the highlight that I'm going to be using on my cheekbones later. So I'm going with the Anastasia Beverly Hills in the Cold Girl Glow Kit. Still one of my all-time favorites highlighting palette. So I'm going to go in with 143 and I'm going to apply this into the inner corner and on the brow bone. So now that we're done with the eyeshadow, I'm going to go ahead and dust this off and hope that it didn't really leave a white cast, because sometimes if you leave a translucent powder on too long, it leaves a white cast, but no, it didn't, so that's good. And that totally prevented any fallout that there was. But you know what? With the Subculture palette, yeah, it has fallout, but like I said, if you barely dip in your brush, you're not going to have a lot of fallout because you're really controlling how much product you have on your brush. The Subculture palette, you can make it work if you wanted to, but I know that's kind of a hassle. Like some people don't like that. Some people just kind of are really rough with their shadows and really like go into town with them. I understand why some people don't like the Subculture palette, but I really like it, and if you know how to work it, you're good to go. I applied some mascara off camera, and now I'm going to go in with lashes. I'm going to use these lashes from my Laura. They're just really long, wispy, and full lashes. I don't know the name. I kind of threw away the box that had the name on it, but yeah, I'll try to look it up. But yeah, these are just from my Laura. I love these lashes, and yeah, I'm just going to pop these on. And this is the finished look. I paired it up with a dark purple lipstick. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Lipstick in Potion. Of course, you could do a nude, even like a deep burgundy lip. Look gorgeous with this look, especially for the fall time. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I swear this is probably one of my most favorite looks that I've done in a while. I just feel like this one's a little bit more wearable compared to what I usually do. I usually do a lot of colors. Believe it or not, it's really hard for me to do neutral eyeshadow looks on myself just because I feel like that's so boring. Everyone's done that and I just want to do something different. But if you want me to do more neutral everyday eyeshadow looks, I can step out of my comfort zone. I know that's so weird to say because people are the opposite, but anyways, I'm just rambling on. Yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you haven't yet. I mean, obviously if you watched this far, you must like this video, so like it. Yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.